I stood frozen on my porch, jaw dropped, heart pounding like a blacksmith's forge. 5 ancient oaks, planted by my great-grandfather over a century ago, lay butchered on the ground, their thick trunks sliced clean through. Their stumps stood like tombstones, mourning the towering giants that once guarded my family's ranch. Beside them, a yellow bulldozer squatted, its blades smeared with sawdust, while the massive branches were stacked like trash. A crew in orange vests and hard hats lounged nearby, chuckling and sipping from water bottles, oblivious to the devastation they'd caused. "What the hell is this?" I roared, charging toward them, fists balled tight. The guy with the clipboard didn't even look up. "Just doing our job, sir." Golden Ridge HOA ordered us to clear unauthorized trees creeping onto their land. I froze, dumbfounded. "This is my ranch. I'm not in your damn HOA." He met my eyes, shrugged, and said, "Paperwork says otherwise." My gut twisted. I turned, scanning the open pasture behind my house. Neon orange flags on wooden stakes dotted the far edge of my property, a red line slashing across what I'd always known as mine. Beyond it, a gleaming metal sign was hammered into the dirt, future site of Golden Ridge Community Park. My knees nearly gave out. They hadn't just murdered my trees, they were stealing my land, claiming I had no right to stop them. But the worst was yet to come. That evening, a knock at my door sent ice through my veins. 3 weeks earlier, life had felt like a fresh start. I'd inherited this Montana ranch from my Uncle Henry, who died at 87, leaving me the house, barns, land, and his weather journals. I ditched a soul-crushing finance job in Seattle to chase his dream, a vision he'd nurtured since his 20s. The ranch was paradise. Horses roamed the back paddock, wildflowers swayed along the fences, and those oaks, planted in the 1900s, stood like sentinels along the southern boundary. Neighbors were warm, mostly retirees, who dropped by with casseroles and stories of Henry's defiance against developers circling like vultures. One couple, Frank and Clara, shared coffee on my porch one morning, warning me about the Golden Ridge HOA, a gated community a mile away with manicured lawns and residents who griped about grazing cattle. They'd offered Henry millions, but he never budged. "This land stays family," Frank quoted him. I laughed it off. "They're out of luck now." "I'm not selling." Clara's eyes narrowed. "Check your boundaries. They've been creeping closer." Uneasy, I dug out Henry's old survey and compared it to a GPS map. Everything aligned until I checked the Golden Ridge HOA website, where their boundaries swallowed 2 acres of my land. Alarm bells rang. At the county office, after a 2-hour wait, a young clerk named Caleb confirmed my fears. "Your parcel's listed under HOA maintenance," he said, frowning at his screen. "That's impossible," I snapped. "This ranch has been independent for a century." He dug deeper, then whispered, "Someone filed papers merging your land into Golden Ridge. It's not legal, but if it slipped through, he promised to investigate and call within a week." By Friday, my trees were gone. That night, as the sky burned orange, a knock rattled my door. I opened it to find a tall man in a blazer flanked by 2 security guards. "Good evening," he said, his smile sharp as a blade. "I'm Edward Lang, Golden Ridge HOA president." I crossed my arms. "You're the one who destroyed my trees." He didn't flinch. "They were on our land, Mr. Coleman." He pulled a map from his folder, Golden Ridge's logo plastered across it. "This says otherwise. Contest it if you want, but until then, we'll remove any unauthorized growth." I wanted to rip it to shreds. "I'm not in your HOA. We never signed anything." His smile widened. "The transfer documents disagree." He handed me an envelope. "You're fined $2,500 daily for encroachment, fences, livestock pens, unapproved trees. We'll inspect in 48 hours. Noncompliance means escalation." They left me reeling. Then my phone buzzed, a text from Caleb, urgent. "Found forged signatures under Henry's name, dated after his death." Come to the office. My hands shook. How far did this go? I didn't sleep. Every creak, every gust had me checking windows. The silence where the oaks once stood was deafening. At dawn, I was at the county office. Caleb slid a folder across his desk. These documents, supposedly signed by your uncle, were filed 2 months after he died, he said, pointing to a notarized transfer agreement for a community park. The notary listed? She died 3 years ago. I felt sick. They forged it all, I said. Caleb nodded. Submitted right after probate, before your inheritance finalized. Sneaky as hell. He advised a land use attorney, fast, warning of a hearing next week where Golden Ridge claimed I was squatting. They're trying to void your deed, he said. Driving home, rage burned through me. Those orange flags mocked me, but I vowed to fight. I called my old law school buddy, Matt Carson, now a land dispute specialist. This is insane, he said. Forging a dead man's signature? That's federal fraud. He flew out that weekend, promising to crush them, but Golden Ridge struck again. 2 nights later, I found my fence gate open, tire tracks leading to the back barn. I sprinted down the path, finding workers tearing down my pasture fencing. HOA demolition orders, one smirked, citing illegal barriers in their park zone. I started recording. You're trespassing on forged documents. Get off my land. They hesitated, then left, leaving broken fences and my blood boiling. That night, I posted the video online, HOA stealing my ranch. I'm not in their HOA. They forged my uncle's signature. It exploded, hitting 1.2 million views by morning. Comments poured in. Sue them. Name and shame. A news van rolled up. Reporter Lydia Hayes, sharp and ambitious, filmed my story, walking the property as I showed her the stumps and stakes. This is criminal, she said. But then came the letter, slipped into my mailbox without a stamp, notice of immediate property seizure. Golden Ridge claimed my entire ranch for continued violations. As I read it, engines roared. 3 black trucks with Golden Ridge logos barreled up my drive, a tow truck trailing with chains. They were here to take everything. I didn't think. I ran inside, grabbed my granddad's hunting rifle, and stepped onto the porch, weapon slung across my back. One step further, and I call the sheriff, I shouted. Edward Lang emerged, feigning calm. This is a lawful seizure, Mr. Coleman. Based on a dead man's forged signature? I snapped. Lydia's camera rolled, capturing Lang's smirk falter. Leave, or I press charges. They backed off, trucks retreating under the weight of my defiance and Lydia's lens. The footage aired that night. HOA tries to seize ranch from non-member. The nation erupted. Lawyers, ranchers, even HOA victims offered help. Matt arrived, diving into evidence, forged deeds, stolen notary stamps, Caleb's testimony. But Golden Ridge didn't stop. They dug a trench across my pasture, severing my irrigation line. Water flooded my fields, threatening crops and cattle. Then my horses escaped, oil dumped in their troughs, poisoning their water. Sheriff's Deputy Kyle took samples, calling it coordinated vandalism. Lydia's next headline screamed, HOA poisons ranch water. Drones buzzed my land, Golden Ridge claiming construction monitoring. Matt fumed. They're building a paper trail to look innocent. Then Clara raced up my drive, pale. They're holding a secret HOA meeting to vote on removing you by force. I sped to their clubhouse, Matt trailing, and recorded through a window. Lang's voice carried. This rancher threatens our timeline. I propose full site enforcement. Clear his structures. We'll frame him as hostile. A board member spotted me. We fled, but the video was gold. Aired live, it sparked protests, state inquiries, and Lang's arrest. A board member, Grace Turner, turned whistleblower, handing over emails, including one from Lang. If the rancher won't leave, turn up the heat. Literally. That night, my barn burned. I saved the animals, but half the structure was ash. The fire chief confirmed arson, gasoline-soaked rag tossed through a window. Fury consumed me. Matt filed an injunction, halting HOA actions. Lydia's report, they burned the barn, went national. Ranchers rebuilt my fences. Strangers sent aid. Golden Ridge, now led by slick developer Simon Reed, filed a lien using a shell company, Iron Crest. We sued for fraud, arson, sabotage, even racketeering. The FBI and IRS joined, uncovering money laundering. Reed was arrested fleeing to Canada. The HOA collapsed, board resigned, website vanished. In court, Judge Eleanor Stone voided the lien, banned HOA activity on my land, and called their greed unprecedented abuse. Neighbors cheered, but I knew it wasn't over until my legacy was restored. Weeks later, I stood in my rebuilt barn, sunlight warming fresh hay. My mare, Willow, nuzzled me, safe. Ranchers hammered a new fence, and we planted young oaks where the old ones fell. Matt clapped my shoulder. You didn't just save your ranch, you toppled an empire. I nodded, grateful for neighbors, truth, and a land earned through blood and fire. As I looked across the pasture, I whispered, "This isn't just mine. It's ours." The Montana sky stretched wide, the new oaks reaching for it, a testament to defiance and a legacy reclaimed. Golden Ridge was gone, its signs torn down, its schemes buried. My ranch stood free, forever untouchable.